Welcome, Dmitry. Thanks so much for joining us today. I am a particular stickler for the security side of fintech, and so I'm really interested in your experience and also HashEx, your company. Please let us know a little bit more detail about that.
Hi, I am very glad to participate in your screencast and in this interview. Thank you for inviting me. And it's a very good opportunity for me to talk something about us, about DeFi security and about fintech security itself. So should
Yes.
I start about HashEx and its brief history or something else?
Yes. Yes. Just give us an insight into your company and what you're doing, working on at the moment, and what the priorities are.
Okay. So HashEx itself, as a new company, launched in 2017. Before this, the same group of people with me, with my core team leads, we were doing some development. Uh, we have not done any websites or mobile applications. We did only complicated platforms, and usually we share our resources to huge IT companies, which had not enough people, enough hands to do some MVPs or some new projects prototypes. So we were like a magic wand for them. And later, I mean around 2015, 2017, we noticed a new trend, which was Ethereum smart contracts. For me, I'm honestly from infrastructure services, so at that time, I made something like development and operations, clouds, Amazon, Google services. So that's all. For me, Ethereum was a really crazy idea. Honestly, I did not believe in this that time because I thought that it's really crazy to summarize all the decentralized resources to calculate something. So it was unbelievable for me. But later, when Ethereum a little bit changed their focus from cloud computing to smart contracts to something slow but valuable for the society, step by step,
Yeah.
I became a believer of this idea. And
Okay.
in 2017, during the first ICO boom, we started development, not consultancy at that time, only development of smart contracts.
Right.
After the first year of HashEx existing, we gained really good expertise of how to write smart contracts and how not to be hacked by typical errors at that time. So if you make a step back to the past time, there were lots of really common mistakes in smart contracts, and every other smart contract developer made those mistakes, and later all the funds of the project were gone. So something
Yes.
like this. A
I
really
heard that from a lot
similar,
of developers. Yeah.
yeah, really stupid mistakes, really similar. Later, a really good framework written by Open Zeppelin company covered more. No, I can say maybe 80% of those mistakes just by using a good software, a good code.
Great.
But that time, it was really important to tell people how not to make those mistakes. So we started auditing services and work like technical advisory when people came to us with their DApps, with their DApp source code, and we advise them or recommend what to change or how to implement this in decentralized approach, not in centralized approach.
Yeah. And so did these companies then have much better record as regards security with their dApps?
Yeah, for sure. We gained some expertise. We gave lots of recommendations. And next five
Great.
years, we did smart contracts audits. And right now, I think we have made more than 1,000 of audits.
Wow. Good work, you. That's
Thank you.
fantastic. Yeah, because I mean, the whole idea of smart contracts, blockchain, and crypto. fantastic. But yeah, obviously at the beginning, there's been a lot of errors that have just continued on. So unfortunately, the hacking is not a good look for any company. So good work. So tell me a little bit about then what your feeling is about DeFi. Yeah, if you could talk a little bit about DeFi, thanks.
For sure, I like DeFi a lot because for me, DeFi, first of all, it's a good new world, new opportunity for people and for robotic interactions. I mean that in classic financial world, if you want to implement some software or if you want to connect real world, material world with Internet of Things or some field of this. Uh, you need to you need some connections. I mean, not software connections but real world connections, because not every bank will grant you access to their API so your device can do some transactions or something like this. So you have a really big border between your new idea, and between realization. And
Right,
defi opens so it's like destroy this border, and you can just go there, generate your own private key and try to use it. uh,
right.
for me it's a great opportunity. It's like new world, like it was dot-com boom
Yes.
20 years ago. Yeah, the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody from the world can use it, so it's really great.
And particularly that the big banks have had so much power, and generally their motivation is not for the customer, and that's why it has been so wonderful to see all these fintech companies, crypto companies, and blockchain companies jumping on with apps, and the new banks that are also coming to light, the virtual banks. So yeah, I mean, it's all great for the customer, really, accessing the APIs.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. And
But mhm.
sorry, you go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
Okay. So the other thing I would really like to talk about and get your perspective on is Web3. I just read an article a couple of days ago where they said that the whole theme about Web3 is that it's not a technology, but basically is being used by some investors to dump a lot of coins very quickly and get their, investment return on investment very quickly compared to the way venture used to happen, where it could be 10 years before the return on investment happened. What's your perspective on Web3?
Uh, if we speak about technology or marketing tricks, so I think these these words are not dissimilar. So
Okay.
as you said before, yeah, as you said before, technology differs from marketing trends.
Yes. Okay. So, as far as the technology of Web3, that's what I'd like to hear about, because obviously this article was saying there was no technology for Web3.
Okay, if we speak about the technology,
Yeah.
I think in the future we will have something like centralized government and decentralized government. It's a huge concept. Like
Okay.
countries, countries like we see them right now. When you have some land like United States or like Russia or like China, and you have some people in this land, you have some resources in this land, and you are trying to control all this, and some countries use democracy, some countries use some other frameworks.
Authoritarian. Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, this is like our legacy from past centuries, when we have territory and we have governments over this territory. So my vision for the future is a little bit different. I think we will have uh, something like IT companies or IT giants around the territory, like a Facebook or Google or Apple or something like this. they will have own land, and some people will live on this land with their rules, with their laws. I think we can see something like minimal viable product of this idea right now when we speak about huge campuses of great IT companies, when you have hotels, apartments, restaurants, facilities, and other infrastructures inside the campus. And
Right.
everything there is ruled by the laws of this company. Honestly, they sure don't restrict main laws like constitutional, like federal or state laws. But for example, they have own police, like own security people. They have own rules like today you can go to the park until 10 p.m. or tomorrow park start to working from 8 p.m. This restaurant working all the day. This restaurant is not working on the day, etc. So they already have some rule there. They
Yeah.
sure use own currency like US dollars, but they honestly can use own tokens or own coins. No big deal for it. Or we know examples when employees are granted some like free dinners or free lunch by the company. So it's kind of coin. So if we step ahead, we can realize that this territory and this IT company can rule with own rules the people who are living there. Also, we can add there some robotic devices like Internet of Things devices, like helicopters, drones, delivery services, etc. And this ecosystem have to be
So
connected with each other, with people, with robots, etc.
so can I ask a question here? So
For
what
sure.
we're talking about is virtual reality, or we're still talking about the
No, no, no.
bricks
It's a real reality, not a virtual
and
reality.
mortar?
Like
Okay.
yeah, like our life with human beings inside, and with
Yes.
some
Okay.
techniques with cars. So not a metaverse. It's like real reality.
Okay.
And in this case, there sure be some people who don't agree with the rules of these companies. And we right now in software world we have closed like open source software and proprietary software, closed source
Yes.
software. Yeah. uh, Open source software can be ruled by community. In the decentralized world we call this DAO, like decentralized autonomous organization,
Right.
which is working like real democracy, if we can call it so, because everyone can vote with his votes, with his
The
tokens.
community is basically governing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think there will be some kind of lands where those DAOs will work. So the community will rule the lands, create some rules, build some structures, etc. And the world will be split between closed source organizations and closed source governments and open source governments. And here we come to Web3, because to rule open source organization, a Web3 is a really good approach.
Interesting. So how do you see the incumbent governments dealing with this new reality? Like, let's take, for example, compliance issues. In your line of work, obviously you have to have compliance when you're hooking up to other APIs. So, can you talk a little bit about your concept of that? I'm really interested in what you're saying.
I think the not the idea, the reality will slightly be changed, because compliance is a really important thing.
Yes.
But it's important if we try to figure out something illegal. And if we speak about open source government and open source territory, it's another question: what is illegal there? So
Ah,
let's imagine that we just move from Earth to the Moon or to the Mars,
yeah,
for example, and
yeah,
nothing is built there. No
right.
prisons, no rocks, no thieves, no accidents. So
Yes.
what's illegal? For example, I bring some, I don't know, some drugs, not drugs like cocaine, but pills like
Yep.
vitamins.
Yep.
And for me, those vitamins from Earth are really good. I always buy them in Russia. And for example, in the United States, I can't buy them because they are not produced there.
Yep.
So I bring them to Moon. And you're a US citizen, and you're asking me, Dmitry, what is this? This is illegal. I don't think so. I just buy it in a pharmacy in Russia, nothing illegal in Russia.
Yeah.
And if we
Yeah.
speak about the new rules and new territory, it's really hard to imagine right now what's legal and what's illegal. And the question
Ah.
about compliance is really important in case of the transactions themselves. So if we speak about decentralized vault and everything will be in public ledger, yeah, like a blockchain, you
Yep.
can easily check which transactions were made and from whom to whom and what they were paid for, etc. And later, the government, the DAO, I think, should vote was it illegal or legal. And I have some feeling that compliance and KYC and AML procedures in decentralized vault will be really will be some other kind of thing. So not
Yes.
like now when we need to show our ID, our passport, and say this is Dmitry and this is prescription for his vitamins from pharmacy.
Yes. Okay. Interesting. So we are really going into a brave new world then, from what you're sharing with me.
For sure.
Yeah. And the incredible amount in the last couple of years of hacking and stealing of NFTs and crypto. Can you talk a bit about what the solutions to that would be? Because it's disappointing. I've supported Bitcoin since 2008 when it was first mentioned, and often was a lone voice. So it is disappointing to see so much of the hacking and stealing that's going on in the public forum. Can you talk a bit about what needs to happen now, considering this is your
Yeah,
area of
yeah.
expertise?
This is my field. I can field.
It
I
is.
can speak about it for hours.
Yes.
So
What's
it
your
sure
advice on a
it
general
sure
level?
is being very sad because of the
Yes.
situation itself. But uh, if we take a look from the other side of this coin, for example, right now a few months ago, I made a huge presentation about security in DeFi build, and I have some numbers. So around $200 billion in the DeFi and 20 billions were stolen in the last year. So like 10%.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
crazy amount for sure. That's crazy
Yeah.
amount. But
Incredible.
incredible. But if we, for example, take a look to the classical bank system, classical financial system, every year, I can't say some crime or some dark operations. No, some cheating tricks when one company tries to steal money from another company without any crime. Just you're ordering some services from me. I'm selling them to you. Then I transfer money to some offshore company and do nothing
Yeah.
for you.
So laundering
So
money. Yep.
something like this. So
Yep.
this amount is much time higher than DeFi amount, like hundreds or maybe
Ah.
thousands of
Ah.
billions are stolen that way. But
Huh.
because DeFi is open for everyone, and honestly, we work in this field, so we investigate this. It's interesting for us. It's new. We noticed this, and we don't know anything about how, for example, in one huge bank some money was stolen, and maybe there are much more stolen, but we don't know anything because all of this is private and we don't have
Yeah.
access to this information, to this data.
Yeah.
But if we return to DeFi and blockchains, honestly, amount of scams, of stolen funds, it's crazy. And for sure, our mission, for example, HashEx mission, is to
Yeah.
bring trust into trustless space. So all the blockchains are trustless space when you can work with each other, people without any trust, because they're built in that way that nobody can steal main funds from each other because they don't have private keys. But those spaces are already lost people's trust because of lots of scams, racks, and unfair people themselves. So for us, our mission is to bring trust there back. And
And is that through auditing, basically auditing of code?
not only about the auditing, security auditing is really important for us.
Okay.
But this year, and the end of previous year, we start rebuilding HashEx, and right now we focus our resources on data analysis. So
Okay.
we are planning to become a Bloomberg in DeFi field in the next 3 years. So what we are
Fantastic.
doing, we are gathering all the Ethereum compatible blockchains right now data in our database. It's about 2 terabytes of data every day. We analyze this data. We know the cash flows between huge smart contracts. We know the cash flows between one chain and another chain. And for example, if we see something interesting like a huge smart contract, let's call it a bank contract, is losing money with big speed, we can alert this. We can warn the owner of this project that something happened. Our main idea is that is
Sorry
data.
to
Mhm.
interrupt. So you can actually warn them before there's money stolen. Is that
No,
what you're saying?
when something started, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Very good.
our our main idea is data democracy. So, for example, we are using some of our tools for a couple of years, and it's really hard for a newcomer to set up the same infrastructure because of lots of data. It's honestly, it's incredibly hard to set up the same infrastructure if you're a new user. And the blockchain itself is a public, but people can't use it because too much of data. So our point is to share this data to everybody, so people can make data-driven decisions, not some feeling
Ah,
decision.
fantastic. And 2 terabytes a day, that's a lot of data just
For
in one
sure, for
day.
sure.
And
Yeah,
how long have you
and
been doing it?
do you mean in technical part? What the
The
software
data.
solution we are using? Hmm?
How long have you been uploading that data if it's 2 terabyte a day?
Uh, we not only upload it, we analyze it. So
Oh, okay.
we store some of the data, but we sure have to analyze all the two
Right.
terabytes every day.
So you're not just putting raw data up there, you're actually analyzing it before you upload it.
Analyze, aggregate, we do some decision based on this data. We
Very good.
recommend some decision to our clients. So we are changing our focus from just security provider to DeFi intelligence provider.
Wow. Well, I'm very impressed. And I have to say, Dmitry, it's been really delightful talking to you and learning more about the work you're doing and HashEx. And I really wish you all the best for the future. It sounds like you're going to be a key company to support a little bit more trust in all this new technology.
Thank you for those words.
It's a pleasure. And thanks so much for sharing with us today.
Thank you.
All the best. Thank you.
Bye bye.